We are in space. We are in space. We are in space. We are in space. The first on the bar made of stars, made of stars. The first on the bar made of stars, made of stars. Made of stars, made of stars. Okay, yeah. So, this is space.
Make sure that that's off. And yeah, I'll give you guys a moment here to
So,
take some selfies
this
and
is
pictures while I
space.
finish up the announcements. So our next picture, it's like a concert. I see these phones all over the place. I love it. So our next show of the day is called Passport to the Universe. But before we get started with that, I'll show you guys one short video, which is just kind of a demo of a whole bunch of
So cool! So, this is space. Oh yeah, the golden record is on Voyager 1.
And that the universe is far grander than anyone could have imagined. This vast supercluster of galaxies is but a tiny part of the observable universe. Using telescopes and the laws of physics, we are mapping the universe in 3 dimensions. And once you have a map, you can know where you are and where you're going. That's Mars. After the Earth, the next planet out from the Sun. Outside the galaxy to see the whole thing. We've never had this view before. Remember back on Earth, where we could only see a few thousand stars? Well, all of them lie within that tiny part of the galaxy.
That's us.
Tonight, the sun will set around 6 o'clock. After it does, the stars will come out. And we'll wait until it gets completely dark, and we'll stop right about here. So this, a little further, this is about 7:45 tonight. This is what the night sky above Cape Town will look like. The brightest thing in our sky tonight will, of course, be the moon, which is over here in the northeast part of the sky right now. As I said, not quite full, but almost. You might notice this strip of light that we see crossing our entire sky. So that is our Milky Way galaxy, made up of hundreds of billions of stars, all of them traveling around the center where there's a supermassive black hole. And as they travel around, they form a very thin disk. And when you look through the disk of the galaxy, that is what you're looking at, that strip of light there. But actually, all the stars that we see at night, they're also part of our Milky Way. Good, and we group them into constellations, and ancient astronomers imagined that they could see pictures in these constellations. So I'll show you some of the pictures now, and then let you decide for yourselves if you think they look like those pictures. So we'll start with one in the northwest part of the sky, so that's on the left over here. And some of you might know this one already.
Big Dipper.
So this is one of our summer constellations called Orion. So as we go into winter, Orion is going to get closer and closer to the sun, and we won't be able to see it anymore. So Orion is meant to look like a hunter, and here you can see the artwork of Orion the hunter, the sword raised high, the shield out in front, ready to fight. It's incredibly large, which is one of the reasons why it's so bright. And because it's in the middle of the scorpion and it has that reddish color, we think of it as the red heart of the scorpion. And if you do that, these three stars make the body with the heart in the middle. Then if you make a T in the stars here, we have the head of the scorpion and the two claws on either side. And then from the body, you can see the tail hooks to the stinger right there. So that hooked tail is the tail of the scorpion all the way back to the heart and to the head. So one final stick figure for you, that is Scorpius, the scorpion. Good, now I showed you all of these constellations, and you're looking at this beautiful sky, and you might have been thinking to yourself, I've been in Cape Town for 20 years and I've never seen this many stars. So I've removed the light pollution here. So this is the sky you would see 500 years ago in Cape Town, before any city lights or anything like that, realistic to what you might see on a given night in Cape Town.
Aww.
So I think if you're lucky, you might get away with this. But I think more realistic is maybe something like this. But even from here, very carefully, you can still see what I showed you. So we have Orion over here on the left, Orion's belt, the two shoulders and the legs right there. Here we have Sirius and the constellation of the dog, the big dog. This is the small dog here. We can cross over to Leo, that's Regulus, with the question mark head and body right there, and all the way over to the heart of the scorpion right here. So these are all constellations that you can also see from the light polluted skies in Cape Town. So next time you have a clear night, see if you can find some of those. Good, so let's turn up the brightness. So that's a few constellations and several star names, so hopefully on the other side of the Earth. But if we speed up time, then we can see new stars and constellations rising in the east, crossing our sky, and setting in the west. Just like in the day we saw the sun rise and cross the sky and set. That wasn't because the sun was moving, but because the Earth is rotating. So the movement of the sun and the stars is due to the Earth's rotation. And some of you might recognize these blue constellations. So these are known as the constellations of the zodiac, and we talked about a couple of them. So as the Earth travels around the sun, it takes 1 year to go all the way around the sun, and because the sun is so much closer than all the other stars, as we travel around it, our view, our perspective changes, and it looks like the sun travels through all of the stars. And throughout the year, the sun will travel through each one of these constellations, and on your birthday, one of them was behind the sun. So that means if you want to see your constellation on your birthday, you can't actually. It's out in the daytime on your birthday. So you'll have to wait several months from your birthday, and then the stars in your constellation will be visible at night. Good, so it's about 11:30 in Cape Town right now, and you can see the center of our galaxy right here, right on the edge of the scorpion's tail. So that is the center of our galaxy. And we're very lucky in Cape Town and the southern hemisphere in general that we can see the center of the galaxy so well. So only here does it get all the way up to the top of the sky. In the northern hemisphere, it doesn't climb anywhere close to that. So we have the most beautiful views of the center of the galaxy in South Africa, some of the best in the world. And that's why we have some of the telescopes that we have here, like the Meerkat Radio Telescope Array, because it looks at the center of the galaxy. So this is about 1:30 in the morning. Now, as I mentioned, Scorpius and the center of the galaxy, they will rise earlier and earlier as we move into winter. So if you get the chance this winter, I highly recommend go as far away from Cape Town and the city lights as you can to a nice dark spot, find a clear night with no moon, and go outside and look up. and you'll see the beautiful center of our galaxy and all of that color and detail that I'm showing you now with the naked eye. You'll have to wait for your eyes to adjust to the dark, so don't bring your phone outside with you, and bring a jacket. It will be very cold, but definitely take advantage of where you live and go see that if you get the chance. Good, so we're not quite done. I do want to show you one more thing, but to do that, we're going to have to leave planet Earth. So we're going to take our planetarium onto the Earth from 4,500 kilometers above Cape Town as the Earth rotates. And to give you some perspective, airplanes fly at about 10 to 12 kilometers above the surface. The space station is about 40 times higher than an airplane flies at 400 kilometers, and we're about 11 times higher than that. So 11 times higher than the astronauts on the space station. And what we're going to do is watch a sunrise over South Africa from outer space. So I'm guessing nobody in here has done that. So it's almost 7 o'clock in the morning in Cape Town, and you can see now the sunlight, it first touches the clouds high in the atmosphere. So if you're in Cape Town looking to the east, you'll see those beautiful reds and oranges lighting up the clouds. And as the sun slowly comes above the horizon, from here we see lights going out in cities all across the country, and not from load shedding, but from the sunlight reaching the surface and blocking out the lights. So from here, it looks like it'll be a beautiful day in Cape Town tomorrow. I hope that's correct. And with that, we will land back on the surface so that when you go out the doors, you'll be back in Cape Town. And that will unfortunately bring us to the end of the program. So I do hope everyone enjoyed it. Remember, if you have any questions, I'll be here in the back. And if not, have a wonderful weekend.